What's going on, guys? Shay5969, and today we're going to talk about the Microtech Socom Auto. Alright, without further ado, here we have the Microtech Socom Auto. Another one of my favorite knives in my collection, and I know you've heard me say that a lot of times, but this and the LUT is what really got me into collecting, and this was my second ever Microtech I purchased. And I wanted something for work I could take and just beat on and not have to worry about. And as you can see, I have definitely beat on this knife. It has served me well. I definitely EDC'd it for at least 2 years. I don't know. Probably, I would say. At least 2 years. But I was a manager for a carpet warehouse for a while. And one of my jobs was to oversee cutting carpet padding to exact length for installers and stuff like that. And a lot of times I would use this instead of my box cutter. So when I say this thing really got like everyday use, it really got some everyday use. And I totally fell in love with the Socom when I first saw it. I loved the inlays, makes it super grippy, right? And again, I know everyone always says, I don't want to carry one because I don't want the auto to go off in my pocket. But when I had the LUT and then this, that's like 5, 6, 7 years of carrying a side opening auto. And never once has any of them ever went off in my pocket. I just think that the Socom is a great profile of a pocket knife for all your daily carry needs. You can get a couple of them, one to look classy and one to beat on, but ultimately this knife serves so many great purposes. And I know a lot of people are going to say things like, I would never buy a $300 knife, but I did, and it did not disappoint. And when I got this, my wife liked it so much she kept stealing it from me, and eventually that led me to buy her own for an anniversary gift. So this one is my wife's, and as you can tell, it's pretty crispy still. She's had it for a while. The difference is, obviously, she has the half serrations. We both have the Tonto. She has the dark aluminum body, and I have the red and the black. But yeah, so American made, American built. Tony Marfione of Microtech designed this. The only downside that I don't like about this knife is, unfortunately, its tip up carry. And if that's like the thing that would stop you from getting one and carrying it, I would suggest looking at the Microtech Socom Bravo, because that is a tip down carry. And you can also get this in a manual as well. So if that's another thing, you really like this knife, but you wanted it in a manual, they also offer those as well. So yeah, I did a little research, and you can buy them brand new on Blade HQ, starting off at $322, right? And they go up from there, depending on color, depending on finish, depending on what it's made of, all that, meaning blade material, yada yada. But you can literally find them in so many different colors, so many different blade styles. They have drop point Tonto, half serrated drop point, half serrated Tonto. Tonto is probably my favorite version, but the drop point does look amazing as well. I'm hoping they come out with this with the ram lock. I think that would be so cool, but I might be alone in that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think one of these with a ram lock would be sick. I think it would be. But I looked on Blade Binge. You can also find some on Blade Binge, but the autos are a little harder to find on the secondary for some reason. The manuals you can find much easier. And I only say check Blade Binge because you can find a lot of good deals on the secondary market. You can also look at Microtech Direct, same thing. They start off at $322 and go up from there. But something really cool that Microtech does is they offer factory seconds. And so, like, say, you know, it got dropped on the shop floor, it got scratched up in production, yada yada. They put them to the side, knocks them off the price tag, and sell them direct from their website. So check out microtechknives.com and then go look at the factory seconds. You never know what pops up there. Some days they have some days they have nothing. It all just depends. But yeah, so we got an aluminum body with that textured plunge lock, and that texture is really nice. Makes it really nice and grippy. You can get to it if you're wearing a pair of gloves nicely. You have T5 or no, excuse me, T8s on the pocket clip only, and then T5s on the body, and then the pivot is actually 7/8. I don't know what the equivalent is in T, but I just had some hex keys handy, so it was 7/8. Yeah, but this one right here is 204p, and I know a lot of people say that 204p, M390, it's all pretty much the same, interchangeable, and all of them have really been good for me. So like I can't say I like one really better than the other. I did have a spot of M390 rust up on me, but that's my only real thing I have to say about M390, 204p LMAX. They've all performed super, super well for me, held an edge for a very long time, taken a serious, serious beating, and still fire hard as ever. Like I said, it has the tip-up carry, and that's really the only unfortunate thing. But I do love on the Socoms how they went back to the T hardware versus the tri-wing hardware on the Luts. So that makes it way easier to, tighten your pocket clip, maybe center it, what have you. But also, Microtech has a lifetime warranty, so if you really need to, you can send it in, and they will give it a spa day, sharpen it. If you needed a new pocket clip, you can buy one and they'll put it on for you. So don't sleep on Microtech's warranty program either. Really great customer service, and they're always really good about getting back to you and things of that nature. You got the glass breaker on there. As you can see, this one has been dropped. Like I said, I use my stuff. I take them to work. I beat on them. I'm not easy on it, and for a $300 and some American-made USA knife, you shouldn't have to be gingerly with it. You should be able to beat on it. You should be able to use it. You should be able to do all the work tasks you need it to do. Cut shrink wrap and cut down foam and do all those things. And again, this performs so well under all those circumstances and things like that. It is a 9.11 inch knife overall. It's a big guy, I will say that, and I do love a fuller knife. Has a decent choke up spot, semi decent choil, a little choke up grip right there. The pocket clip doesn't really give you any hot spots. That jimping right here and right here is really nice. I wouldn't mind more jimping than less jimping, that's just me. I'm sure some would agree and some would disagree. The aluminum body makes it nice and lightweight. It only weighs 5.6 ounces, so it is lightweight for how big it is. Balance is really nice right there. And like I said, you can get them in different colors. You can get them in different blade steels, different hardware. Excuse me. This one's the wife's. So two good examples of a newer, nicer one versus one that has seen a lot of pocket time and a lot of use. 4.05 inch blade length on the Tonto versions. I'm not sure if the clip points are the exact same, but I do know they both are 9.11 inches overall, so that leads me to believe that they are probably the same. But yeah, so a nice 4-inch blade with a 9.11 inch body overall. Great size knife. Great size for work and for beating on, and great snappy action after all these years. And just for a little size comparison, I brought down the QSB Penguin to line it up against so you can see how much bigger of a knife it really is. And I also brought the MSI with me for another little size comparison, because MSI is another big knife. And if you can see, they're pretty dang close to the same size. So if you know what an MSI feels like in hand, it's about the exact same size as the Socom. Yeah, so another great USA made knife from Microtech. I know not everybody is crazy about the billboarding. You can get a shadow version, with no billboarding. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it one bit. Yeah, guys, the Microtech Socom Auto. Pick one up today. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.